So hello everybody, so today I thought we would do two issues that look fairly simple. So this is 84 and 85.
I've pounded the road from coast to coast, Yorkie and me rolling on. 'Cause a long day's run can be short on fun without Yorkie to help me along.
Okay, so this is issue 84 and I've got the camera the wrong way, so I do apologise. This is 84, the cab windows. Now they come in a little pop-out piece of plastic, and I don't know if these are two. I don't think they are, but I can't tell which is which exactly, but these two are 1 and 2, which is the right and left rear window, and these are the right and left side window. And this looks like it's going to be a lovely simple issue. So what we need to do is lay out the windows in order. We have positioned them with the outside facing upwards. I can't really tell. Oh, I see, there's a little notch on them. So what I'll do is I'll lay these out in whatever order, and then I'll pop one in. I'll do the first one, and then we'll be able to figure out which window is which then, can't we? So take the left side window 84-4, which is going to be this one, and from the previous issue, tabs on the windows fit into the slots at the top and bottom of the opening. So every one of these windows is the same principle. We have the opening, we have a little notch top and bottom. Each of the windows has a little tab, and all we're going to do is, that's actually harder than it looks, unless I've got it the wrong way round. I don't think it matters which way round it goes. There we go, pop. That is the wrong window. Right, so there is definitely a shape to it. There we go. Right, so the next step tells us to do the rear window, but I'm actually just going to advance, and I'm going to go and do the other side, stage 7, because now I've only got one window left on the side, so I know what I know what I'm doing on the side windows, so we might as well get that over with. Right, I think I've accidentally put that incorrectly. So these windows, they're smooth on one side, and they've got a little texture on one side, and I think it's the textured side that wants to go on the outside and the smooth on the inside. So I certainly made less of a meal of that one, didn't I? Right, so rear windows, I can see that one is angled, so that looks like this is this one. So can you see why I've just skipped and just slightly bend that? Don't bend it too much because it is acrylic. I don't know if it's going to be easier to work from top to bottom. Right, well that one's just gone in. I don't think that's right. There's too many gaps. Too many gaps for me. Do you know what? That was actually the left side. Right, so I've completely ignored the instructions and gone my own way. There's a song about that, isn't there? Is it Fleetwood Mac? You can go your own way. Right. And this one doesn't want to go top to bottom. It doesn't want to go top. There we go. Right. Oh God, did I make a mess of that? Wow. Right, so that's my windows in, guys. So by the nature of them being windows, you can't actually see any difference between the start and the end of the issue, purely because they're windows and they're clear. But that is the windows done, and that's just looking, from my angle, it's looking just a little bit nicer. This seems to be the way we're going now with this Eddie Stobart. Every issue we're just adding a little touch, you know, and you get to the point where you think this is a brilliant model, and then you get another issue and then you go, do you know what, this is better than the last issue. So this is issue 85 now, and there is one piece and 2 packs of screws. That's an awful lot of screws for one piece, isn't it? So we have got the cab visor, DD10 screws, of which we have 7, and DD7s, of which there are 3. So what we're going to be doing, identify the screw holes on the side of the cab where the visor will be fixed. So let's skip to step 2, where it says take the visor and fit it across the front of the cab below the headboard so that screw holes in the ends of the visor align with the screw holes in the cab. So we'll do this dry fit, then we can go back and we can identify the screws. There we go. Because obviously what it's saying is identify the screw holes where. But if we put the visor on, we now narrow down where those screw holes are going to be. Do you know what? This is a mess. That's just a bit better, isn't it? Right, so fix each end of the visor in place with 3 DD10 screws, which makes sense now because we have 7 of them, of which 1 is spare, and these are tiny screws, so we're going to have to use a tiny screwdriver. So the tactic that I'm going to use for this is 1, 2, right, so I'm going to get my small screwdriver, which I can't find because I've been tidying up. There we go. So I'm going to get 1 screw and I'm going to pop that through the middle hole just enough to bite. Which, there we go. And then I'm going to get a second screw, and you already know what I'm going to be doing here. Well, anyone who's been watching my channel regularly will know. I'm going to get the other side and I'm going to pop this second screw through the middle just enough to bite, and then we've got the visor on, so we don't have to worry about it now. So we've got 4 screws left to put on properly and 2 to just tighten up. So I'm going to go top screw, really? Really? That screw isn't tightening up, or it's a very, very high thread count, low thread count. Which one is it? Which is it when you have to do an awful lot of turning for the length of inch of thread of screw? I think it's a lot of turning for inch of thread, but it doesn't seem to be coming to a stop point. I don't even know if that's in. Right. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this screw hasn't gone tight. The middle one has, but the top and the bottom one hasn't gone tight, and it's just starting to discolour the plastic. So I'm going to stop there. It's definitely firm on that side. So I'm not, you know, we've got 1 tight screw. So to be honest with you, I say this a lot, you know, sometimes they'll go in and they'll put 5 screws in where perhaps it only needed 2. I think in this case they didn't need more than 2 screws. This is such a lightweight piece of so you only really needed 2. The only reason we're putting 6 in is because if we only put 2 in, there'd be 4 ugly holes. But I'm applying the same logic to that, and look, it's definitely on tight, so I'm not going to over worry about that, and there's no looseness. Right guys, so that's it. Small details to the cab, really made that nicer, really happy with that, and it's just adding a little bit to it each time. Right, so next step, we need to do some work on the chassis, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 2 screws ready, because there's only 2 screws left in the pack. So what we need to do, does anybody remember this? This is the front bumper, and what we need to do is screw to clear. Alright, use a DD7 screw to clear any excess paint from the raised screw sockets. So it's those 2. That's a good idea. Why have they never thought of that before? So what they're basically saying is there could be some paint inside those holes. When you come to screw, it may not screw on properly because of the paint. So what they're asking you to do is just pop the screw in and then undo it. Don't screw it all the way. Screw it maybe half of the screw in, and there. It looks like I have no paint block at all, which is, in all fairness, probably normal. But yeah, so there you go. So what we want to do now is get the chassis, and I don't know how to work on this, which direction, but this is going to be going onto there like so, and then that's going to be screwed in. God knows how we're going to screw that in. We need to get our screws, and we need to screw them in like that. Can you see my issue here? I can't screw on. Right, that's on enough to bite. Actually, I can. There is I have a plan. Right, that one is a no. Right, so I'm going to have to bring my plan in a little bit earlier. So, everyone who criticises me for having an Oria screwdriver, I'm the one laughing now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this extension in. This extension means that it's not as strong as normal. But, and I'm also going to turn the chassis round so I can work on it a little bit better. It's probably still not going to work, but see, and I'm actually going to take that out. Now I think that's right. Now, do you know what? Even that's not helping me. Wow. See, this is a bit short-sighted, isn't it? See, do you know, I might be an idiot. Obviously, if you turn it upside down, don't forget to turn this upside down too. Yeah, it's not the easiest of angles to get into. I think all I can do is just try different screwdrivers. I don't even know if the ends have lined up properly. When you think you've got a hold and then you can remove the part, you kind of question whether it's lined up, don't you? Yeah. Right. Wow. Do you know what? I jinx myself, don't I? What did I say at the start? 2 nice simple episodes. Right, that one's going in. That is definitely going in. But this one is a bit more of a challenge because this object in the way. And I'm calling it an object because I can't remember what it's called. Ah, there we go. There we go. No, I thought that had connected. Right. So the screw's not going in very well, and I don't think it's because of paint block. God. It's almost as though the part doesn't fit. Screw is not going in. Did anyone else have trouble with this? See, I'm now tempted to take the screw off the other side and line this up. I don't know if this bar needs lining up. Can you see like kind of a Krypton thatch I've got to do here? Screwdriver under there, bring this down, poke the screw in. Who was the guy who hosted that Krypton Factor? Was it Gordon something? Right, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this off because we know we can get that one in. I'm going to try a slightly different tactic. I'm going to get the screwdriver in and I'm going to poke the screw into the hole, and then I'm going to bring, you know what I think? No, actually no, I've done it. Right. I think I was right in that the hole wasn't going in. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to actually do this up as tight as I can. It's going to be awkward. Right, that's as tight as I can get it for at least now. I just think it might be easier if we do the hard one first. Sometimes I'll do the easy one first because that then sometimes makes the harder one easier. And I'm going to do this the same way as that one. I just need to get a purchase on the hole. But I'm querying whether that peg does actually go in. Now, right, this is one of those needing 14 hand jobs, 14 hands to do the job. Still not in, and I now can't pull this out too far. Oh dear. We know that that has purchased before. What about trying to turn this upside down? It means that you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing, because my head is going to be in the way. See, what I think the problem is that I'm not able to screw that screw in straight. So it's attempting to go in at an angle, and of course it's not going to play ball. So it's not actually making any kind of purchase. Now, when you've only got the one, when you haven't got any of the bits on, you can kind of get away with that slightly more. Oh, that was promising. No. See, it gets promising and then it clicks. Let me try this again. That's a funny saying, isn't it? Let me try that again. It's like I'm asking you permission. All I'm trying to do is just get a start on it. Now if I completely undone this screw, I can get that side on, but then I won't be able to get this one on. Now what I'm trying to do is put the screw through the hole. See, this definitely fits. There we go. I think I've just got it in place. I think the part wasn't in enough. I think it wasn't quite right, and I've just kind of wiggled it around and it kind of clicked. I just need to get some kind of purchase on it. I can't feel any resistance with the screw. No, I'm getting really annoyed with this. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm close to giving up on this stage. See, it doesn't help that it doesn't go in at an angle. Right guys, I'm giving up on it. It's not going to happen for me. If anyone can come up with a simpler idea, because I can only get one screw in or the other. It's definitely lining up, but I just can't. If I take that screw out, I can get this one in, but then I can't get that one in second. See, it doesn't even look like it's lining up. It looks like this piece there, coming off the fan radiator, was a little bit too far this way. It's too far that way, sorry. I wish the screw was longer. That would help. No, it's not happening, guys. It's just really not happening. It's like the screw hole is over by 2 or 3 mil. Right, I've just tried to bend that a little bit. There's Right, that is definitely no, that was lined up. Right, that is definitely lined up now, I think. No. No, that's not happening, guys. That's just not going to go in. I'm even going to try another screw. No, I'm not going to try a fresh screw because I don't know where they are. DD07. I don't have the answer, guys. It's not going to go in. I'll try a different screwdriver. I don't know if the screw's not lined up. It must be lined up enough. I can see the problem. I can see the problem, guys. So the actual peg on there is supposed to go into there. If you look there, I'm trying to get a good hold. You can see there's a little tab on the end, and it's just sat behind a ledge. There, it's not sitting. Now, whether that's because the ledge won't slip down, or because the peg is too big for the hole, but I think whatever the answer is, this whole thing is going to have to come off. I don't think the problem is with the screw or the positioning. So that's kind of wedged in there. Right, so that goes in perfectly fine. So, and that one goes in fine, but you can't get them in together. So actually maybe I bent this the wrong way. Right, so maybe I bent the wrong one of these. I know this looks really drastic, but it's gentle pulling. Right, that might have just done it. That's done it. Right, so long as that doesn't fling, I think that's done it. We know the screws fit. Do you know what? I might resort to a trusty old partwork screwdriver. If I can find the one that I'm thinking about. Do you know what? I think this might be a good screwdriver. No, actually it's not. This is the R2D2 screwdriver, which was very, very kindly given to me by Adrian, who is a very good friend of mine who has stuck with me through thick and thin. Right, so that's on biting, that's not on full. I don't want to push that end off because that was a struggle to get it in. And this is the easier side to screw. Oh yes, I think well, it feels like it's going in. Right, so let's try and tighten this one up. Right, that's in. And do you know what? Those screws aren't in fully, but that isn't going to fall off. Whoa, that was hard work, guys. I just needed to pull that bit a little bit. Now, while I was working on that, I did notice that one of my pipes fell out. It's not a problem, it just fell out of the hole. It didn't snap off. So I'm going to put that back in now, and I'm going to try and use tweezers, because tweezers... now this is one of the pipes that snapped on the other side, and I had to glue the pipe to the connector, but that's okay. Oh, I'm beginning to have problems with this, just small problems here and there, but that is now done. And again, small details just added a lot to it. Right guys, so I'm going to finish it there. That was quite a big video for two simple issues. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.